Hi, welcome to class. We're the only two right now, but the other ones will show up eventually, right? I hate my life. I hate my life.
A Professor Sunreis Productions!
As you can see, my voice is still a little bit crispy here and there, but I'm not gonna stop myself from giving you the content you guys deserve. As you've probably seen, Dueling Book has reset its letter as the banlist is now live, so it's the Wild West West out there. People be shooting, and I'll be like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Clapping them left and right with Claptrap Spright control. So I got a nice replay analysis of you guys of my pure Spright list versus Tearlements. Just want to showcase you guys the strengths of this deck has, and it still has the capabilities of just stopping Tearlements dead in its tracks, or at least grind with them and put them in such a simplified game set that the Spright engine can actually keep up. So without further ado, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave some feedback down in the comment section below, and let's get right into the replay. So here we are in the replay. We are up against Eric Beck, 284 rating. We are 271 rating. I don't think this matters really right now. It's super early. This is top 200, but at this point, everyone can get top 200 quite easily. So we win the rock, paper, scissors. They are on danger tier elements with a trick clown, so it's probably a little rank 4 heavy. Lightning Storm in the main deck, definitely very interesting. We are on opening of the Spirit Gates, Jet, Veiler, Jet, Red, so that's a very mediocre hand. Like multiple, I mean, it's just one multiple, and other than that, it's like a pretty decent hand, I guess. So we activate the opening of the Spirit Gates, of course, get the Dark Beckoning Beast. In a hand like this, opening of the Spirit Gates is basically just as good as opening the Dark Beckoning Beast, as you can get the level 2 later on in the turn. Of course, does play a little worse into a shit ton of hand traps, where if you get Nip Veiler, for example, you can still use opening of the Spirit Gates later on if you open the Dark Beckoning Beast to go into Elf and get your engine going from there. But it is not gonna happen here. So we normal summon the Beckoning Beast, we summon the Jet. We could have Red here first, but I didn't want to show it, as I didn't really put a lot of emphasis on this on the Jet. So now we summon the Red. We go into Gigantic, and Gigantic actual results, which kind of surprised me. So I was thinking, okay, maybe they are on either Flunder or Tearlements. So at this point, I was deciding, okay, I could go for a blue here and get a carrot, or I could just chill out my life and get a capsule and hopefully draw into some hand traps. As just one carrot doesn't really do a lot, because if you think about it, the two matchups which I was anticipating, Smashers, basically does the same job as Carrot, negating the field spell, and then we can use Red to negate the monster effect. So I already had that covered, so I didn't really feel the need for a spell negate. I already had guaranteed follow-up in the form of Jet, opening of the Spirit Gate, so I didn't really feel like we needed lots of engines, so I actually decided to get out the Clap Shell out of the deck. So now we link into the Elf, effect Cap Shell, lets us draw one, it's an Ash. It's perfect. Love this card. Effect Elf to revive the Cap Shell and set one and pass. This does not look threatening at all, but it's actually quite strong. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 disruptions with another draw and 2 forms of extra resource generation. So we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We went +4, and we're going to go +2 in the opponent's turn. +3 actually. So they draw a Merly. That's a pretty decent pickup. It's a Tearlements name, I guess. So they decide to Lightning Storm the back row. No chance to do something on that. Of course, the Smashes would have been very nice for the field spell, but not anticipating a Lightning Storm in the main deck whatsoever. So they decide to activate the field spell. We decide to Ash this. This is one of the few good Ash targets the deck has. So in my opinion, it felt correct to do it here. They summon the Nessie. They activate the Nessie, not summon it. We hit the Trick Clown. They get to draw one. They draw Zephyros. They activate the Trick Clown, and here I'm thinking, the problem is I kind of am forced to negate this here, because any normal summon rank 4 already goes into like Redua, into Zeus, and threatening lots of my board. So I'm kind of forced to negate this here, even though this feels like a very bad negate in my opinion. But I think I had to do it here. Also, this would have gone into Dark and go into Zeus lines, and not Zeus, into Spright lines. So in my opinion, it just made sense to negate it here. And then we tribute the capsule. Of course, capsule triggers if tributed as well. We get a ghost spell. Gotta love to see it. Now we activate the elf. Probably should have done it before, but it's kind of hard to chain that properly so that you thin out your deck just that much more. So we get the starter here. It doesn't really matter when we do it at that point. So now here they think we still have 2 disruptions. They go for Zephyros, summon, run over the jet, run over the elf. That's the problem which we had. Like any normal summon here would have cost us lots of resources. So we kind of had to negate the Trick Clown, sadly. So now they go into a dark. They use Zephyros to bounce the field spell. Here I'm thinking, okay, I think that's the best ghost spell target. They have used the normal summon. They have 1 field spell in hand. They exactly would have need to have Sharon plus another monster, and they would have gone for that before they committed into a route like that, in my opinion. So I think the ghost spelling this is correct. And now the dark on Jet. And we Veiler that, which will come up later on because they are actually on the Spright package as well, which I am not convinced they are right now, but I just wanted to do it just in case, because I think they're gonna pass here, and I think I had this pretty safely. They do set a Sullik, which in my opinion I thought might be a super polymerization, so I'm very cautious about that. We drew a Veiler. That's a pretty good one. We opening of the Spirit Gates again. Get the Dark Beckoning Beast, and now that we have the capsule in hand, we can engrave. We can actually use the revive effect without minusing, which is pretty cool, of course. So we Dark Beckoning Beast, summon Jet. Should have done it the other way around to play around a super polymerization here. So just summoning the Jet, because I actually decided to just smash us the set, just because I'm so scared of it. In hindsight, if it's a Sullik, it's also fine, because Sullik in the next turn could be annoying, and I would have to smash it anyway. So in both cases, I think we're super fine here. So we get to go with that. Now we activate starter, get the blue, effect blue, get the carrot, effect opening of the Spirit Gates, pitch the Veiler, get the cap shell, go for Onibaru, banish that, detach 1, effect cap shell. We probably should have gone for the XZs, which bounces, just to get rid of this dark permanently. We draw Dark Beckoning Beast, which is 1 step too late. We could have extended here into something nice. Sadly, we can't now. We just go summon carrot, go into battle phase, and pass the turn. Not quite yet, because of course you're going to revive the elf. Go into an elf and revive the cap shell probably, just to plus in the opponent's turn even further. No, we go into the elf and revive carrot, just because we know they have field spell and we want to have negate and destroy on the carrot with the XZs, of course. So they draw Jet, which is an insane draw. They get Planet, we of course negate that. Now we use elf effect to because we don't want to have to use any of them. We want to be able to negate with something else. We get the blue. I think we are running out of starters. No, we are not running out of starters. We get the blue because we don't want to lock ourselves next turn and have the additional form of play, because we do have so many lines of getting a normal level 2 on the field. And so now they're Merly. My opinion, I thought, okay, they wouldn't have anything else here, so I want to negate this with red. It probably is not the correct play, because if we think they don't have anything else, we might as well negate the card in graveyard if they hit something. So now they summon Jet, and they highly punish us for that. That's a very good top deck, of course. But we still have like plenty of resources they have to get rid of. They get a Smashers, and now they go into Elf, effect Elf, get the Jet, no Ghost Spell, Crow whatsoever, which was definitely very risky of them to do it like that, but they kind of have to do it because they need to run over our stuff. So now they go into Gigantic, pitch the Merly to get the 3.2k Beatstick, effect Blue, Surge, probably red. Yeah, Surge red. But I still feel super comfortable at this point just because they're so low on life points. And if they get an elf on the board, we have super easy line of OTK by just going into Gigantic. They basically cannot do anything against that. We run over elf. They run over elf and red, giving us a little bit of damage, but it doesn't really matter. Here we get confused because I think they're gonna run over elf, so I put it away before, and now the auto attack declaration thing goes on carrot, and I think they want to go over carrot, which was like, what? You want to run over my carrot? Now I on accident added the smashers to the grave from the graveyard to the hand. Wild stuff which was happening. Anyway, so we are left with carrot on the board. They are deciding to smash us that actually with the Gigantic. Of course, so now they have Elf, Pass. They get the Dark back, of course, which doesn't do anything. Let's be real here. We draw an Impermanent, which doesn't do anything, but it is still a free level 2 body with opening of the Spirit Gates, of course. So now we normal summon Beckoning Beast, no effect, as we've run out of Beckoning Beast, yes. But that doesn't really matter too much. They decide to Elf here, get the Merly. That Merly, it cannot really, even if it hits like 2 like it does here, it doesn't really do a lot. Just because all they can hope to achieve with it is get a Dracostopelia, and Dracostopelia only negates activated effects. So it cannot really negate the Gigantic attack boost, and so Gigantic can just run over this. So they go into a Garura, effect hit colors. They could have. No, they couldn't have done anything here. Effect Merly, Kid Carlos sent the Merly, by the way. Then go into the Dracostopelia. And from here on out, this is pretty easy cleanup. They think about negating this here, but it doesn't really do a lot. I guess the play is to negate here. But you know they have Jet, and we know we can get a body on for free. So we decide to summon Jet, effect Jet to search the starter. Then we summon blue. Doesn't really matter what we do here. We already basically have the game on board. We just need to go for it. Summon red. So even if Dracostopelia would have negated effects, not only activated, we still would be fine because we would have had a red. And if at any point they negated, we would have just get the extra body, go into elf, elves revive something, go into Gigantic, and then run over. So at any point here, we were hella fine. We can even go into a nice cap shell to get some nice extra drawing here. Effect cap shell draws into an impermanent, so it didn't matter at all. It was just a free body. Effect elf to revive. Here the cap shell. So now we can go into Gigantic, battle phase, run over, and this is game. Lightning Storm top deck wouldn't have done anything, not that it mattered because they are dead. So game 2, they decide to go first, of course. Opening hand is blue, Desires, Nib, Ash, Desire, so that's pretty decent hand. The second Desires hurt a little bit, but other than that, it's pretty solid, and they are on Rhinoheart, Snake, Nessie, D-Barrier, and Zephyros, so that's also a pretty decent hand. They normal summon Rhinoheart. Because we have the Nib, I feel very comfortable just ashing this because they are so little, very good ash targets, and Rhinoheart is one of them. So we ash that, they set the D-Barrier, and they decide to go for the Nessie here. Nessie hits itself. I think that's the second Nessie we sniped here. I'm not too sure. Get Jackalope. Try again. Jackalope effect. We hit the Zephyros. They bounce with Zephyros. So that's pretty nasty play here. Just a free cycle. They draw into early, by the way, which is like a very good pickup. Just having the first Tearlements there is crucial. They go into Redoer just to have something, I think, and also in a pinch, Redoer can trigger them early out of the hand with the Rhinoheart. So they will have a guaranteed play here. It also plays around in Nibiru because they're probably going to mid into it here. Jackalope draw into Field Spell, so that's another broken draw. Second really good draw here for them. Snake summon itself, activate Field Spell. Get the Sharon, and then Sharon effect, because they have another one, of course. Effect, Mill 3, Mill Destrudo, Trickler, so that's 2 broken mills again, so that's no whiff whatsoever here on their part. Really good hits they have. And they also have a D-Barrier set, by the way. So it's looking rough. They only will activate Merly, so no Trick Lawn. It doesn't really matter because it's just gonna die to a Nibiru anyways. They don't need it. Kid Carlos effect. And they already have a Redoer, so the Trick Lawn doesn't really do anything. So Kid Carlos adds Merly. Kid target itself. Get the Merly. Mill 8, feel great here. They mill blue, red, D-Barrier, Field Spell, Huffness, Merly. So that's pretty good. Getting a Merly into the graveyard is very nice for elf lines. And hitting the Huffness, of course, also really good. So they activate Huffness to go for a Garura, probably. Yeah. And at this point, I'm kind of forced to go for a Nibiru because they will get the draw no matter what. Sharon doesn't really matter too much. It would have been nice, of course, if they milled a Sharon here. And then used the Sharon to summon. Then the Nibiru here would have been insane. But now it's not. It's really lackluster. So they change the Redoer on the Nibiru. They will get the draw no matter what. Murder can trigger. Sharon will be able to trigger, of course. So we Nibiru them. They will Sharon. Garura, so draw 1, get another Disruption. Cosmic is a decent pick. It's not really a good pickup. It hits the opening of the Spirit Gates, I guess. Field Spell on the Nibiru to out that. Set 1, Redoer comes back. Pass. We draw a starter, which of course is a very good pickup, but they are nasty and get a trap with the Redoer, which is basically neck breaking at this point. No real way to out this board at this point. We desires here to get an impermanence or something. We draw a blue and a red, which does not really help. We decide to starter here. For a blue, we could have summoned Jet here at this point, but it's gonna get Drakus to Pelliot no matter what, so it doesn't really matter. And then the normal summon, which we try to extend on, will get Redoered. So we don't really have anything. So the Redoer here. Bounce the new, not bounce, spin it back on the deck, and we just pass. So game 3, we decide to go first, of course. Opening hand is D-Shifter, Desires, Red, Jet, and Permanent. That's an insane hand. They are on Solic, Snake, Starter, Cherries, and Rhino Heart. So we just shotgun the Desires. We could have saved it and just first go through this Spright engine. But usually you are super fine with the banishes. As you can see here, we banish a Dark Beckoning Beast, a Capsule, which kind of hurts 1 carrot, but we are still on 2 and 1 blue. As half of the deck is hand traps, usually you are super fine in that department. So we change the shift on that. We draw Ash Blue, which is insane. This is Spright heavy hands are definitely what you want with the D-Shifter, just because you want to play a pure Spright at that point and not even go into Gigantic and stuff like that. You just want to end on Red, Carrot, Jet, Red, Blue, Jet, Carrot. You basically want to end on any, all of them. So with that, we search the Carrot because we already have the Jet, of course. And they here are big thinking. So they cherries for the Gigantic. I don't know why they've gone for the Gigantic. This is actually very good for me, because this means that we can actually grind. And as if already have all of these Spright names going and we've banished our Capsule, there's no real reason to commit into a Gigantic at any point. All this does is steal our ability to run our big beat sticks with it. So I'm hella fine with that. So Spright Jet gets the starter here. We set the Imperm, we set the starter, and we pass turn. We feel super comfortable here. They draw for turn a Nessie, of course. So they are able to make some nasty plays here. They decide to activate Nessie. Hit the Nessie. I'm an American sniper, it seems. So they have the starter in hand, which is pretty nasty, but also very risky to use with that. Also, the Rhino Heart, if that gets hit, they can use the Study Egg, I guess. So they use the Snack to 3, hit the Study Egg. Wait, they are not shifted, they cannot use it, never mind. So they draw it to Super Polymerization, another insane top deck they have. They're getting rid of my negates, but that's super fine. We still have 1 red in the deck, which is all we really need. They go into Garura, Effect Snake. So now they can just get rid of everything on our board, but we still have one starter as follow-up, so we should be fine in that department. They go for Dark, which we let resolve at this point. We could have impermanence here, but it doesn't really do a lot. It's just some damage, and if they commit into anything, for example an Appaloosa or something, which was my hope they would have done, I could have impermanence that. So it's basically just a little bit of damage which we will get here. So they run over everything and then activate a starter, which we ash, of course. So a quick cut, let's go right back in. My girlfriend just got home. Where were we left? I think they just decided to pass turn in end phase. Yeah, here we are. We decided to activate the starter, get the blue, effect blue, get the jet. Of course, now we have full engine, draw for turn starter, which is a pretty handy pickup, not gonna lie. Let's take a look at our banish pile. We haven't banished any of them, so we still have 2 smashers and 1 starter in the deck, which is plenty of resources. On Spright names, it's not looking as good. We have no more blue, we have 2 jets, I think, and 1 red. So that's all of the Spright names, but this is more than enough to win here. We go for the smashers, and after quick thinking here, going into the battle phase with the Sky Cavalry is the best way to clear this board and to get rid of all of the resources. Bounce the Garura with the Sky Cavalry, getting rid of the draw. Go into Zeus, getting rid of everything. Dark doesn't trigger. Impermanence gets sent, which was the only thing where it's like, maybe I don't want to go for the play like that, but stopping your opponent from plussing, of course, is insane. Now we go for the starter, get Jet, get Elf, effect Elf, target blue, and then blue effect will search the remaining red. We will take 1.3k, that's a-okay on my part. Summon red, set smashers, and that's a pass. The opponent draws a field spell, which of course is a pretty handy pickup on their part. So we smash us that, banish the blue. On res, we will probably activate Elf. Yeah, on res, activate Elf, get Jet, effect Jet, get another. No, we used all the smashers. We still have a starter in there. No, we still have the smashers. Okay, now we use that, get the smashers. The starter doesn't do anything because we have no more targets in grave and in deck. So it's that card. Effect Reinhardt. We negate that with red, sending the elf, of course, so it won't run over us. And that's the end of the game. So I hope you guys enjoyed this quick replay analysis. I don't know how long it was. There was like 20 minutes between the cut. Sorry guys for that. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this replay analysis. Just wanted to showcase you guys that the deck, first of all, can still highly keep up with the Tearlements variants. What the fuck is that? But most importantly, I wanted to showcase you guys what the actual... can this like go maybe? I don't know, it's gonna stay there. So, first of all, it can keep up with the elements, that's very important. And secondly, I wanted to showcase you guys what the actual game plan is under D-Shifter. So under D-Shifter, you just want to get all of the Spright names out, search a starter with a jet, and then just chill, because like most of the time, they cannot really push through a D-Shifter at all, or they will minus hard, and afterwards the one starter will keep you in the game like 9 out of 10 times. So, hope you guys enjoyed this replay analysis. Professor Sunreis out, you guys are dismissed. Feel free to leave. Peace.